During my time teaching this project, there's a few common questions that always come up. How do I start the project? What walls and what floors should I use? This will be a quick video just to show you how to get started. The first thing I would do is go to File, New Project, and just make sure that you go and you browse here to find the residential default template. Maybe you already did this when you were setting up your site plan. If you've already done it, great, you can skip this step. Otherwise, make sure that you're working in the residential default either by opening a new one or making sure that the other file you started already was residential. Okay, the next thing we'll do is go in here and add a wall. This is how you'll know you're in the right template. If you can see these wall types at the very top, these are the residential walls. So we've got exterior with brick, wood shingle. I don't really use that one much. I never use this one. And this one I use all the time. For probably 90% of you, I would say start with this wall. Even if you don't plan to have siding, or maybe it's not going to be wood siding, it'll be some other kind of siding. All you need is a little placeholder for whatever material you are going to use. If you want brick or stone, then start with this one. But most other things, this is where you want to be. So I'm going to go with wood siding on wood stud. And let's just pretend that I've got a little outline for a floor plan here. Always make sure that you change your level of detail to fine so that we can see that wall detail. And at this point, if you're going to go with siding, then again, you're great. It's already there. You're good to go. If not, then I would simply go in here and edit the structure and find whatever material you want this to be. Just change it. You can go search for something else. In another video, I'll show how to customize materials, but either change your material now or wait to customize it. Okay, and once again, you can see that that's just kind of a thin little strip of material that's allocated for siding. That's perfect. Okay, if you know that you want brick or stone, then I would simply swap it out for this wall type. If it's going to be brick, leave this alone. If it's going to be stone, you can see that there's a little bit of an air gap between the brick. Okay, this outline is the brick. It's got the masonry hatch, and then there's a little air gap, which only exists for brick. You wouldn't need that for stone. So let's pretend that I want this to become stone. I'm going to edit the type and duplicate it. And we'll call it stone on wood stud. Try to get that spelled right. Okay, and then I'm going to edit the type here. I won't need the air gap, so I just click right here and delete it. And instead of brick, we would once again go into materials, find what we want. And then for the thickness, we're going to change this to 1. If you don't want to go find a material right now, but you know you want stone, at the very least, just change that thickness. Okay, and now I've got a stone wall, and I've got a siding wall. Let's just see what it looks like in 3D. There should be a difference. Okay, perfect. And now let's talk about the floor. In order to make this easy, we kind of need to know where should the floor start and stop in relationship to that wall. So I'll go to the floor command, and generic 12-inch floor is fine. Before we were going with the wall, we went into these more complicated styles that had some assemblies to them. In this case, I'm just going to start off with the generic 12. It's really simple to use, easy to create, and I don't have to worry about materials yet. Okay, we want to use this tool, Pick Walls. And the reason why is that if we do this right, with Extend into Wall Core already selected, then it will take this floor and move it inside the wall, but not all the way out to the perimeter. You don't want to go out to that edge because then you would see the wall. You would see the floor poking through the wall when you look at it in 3D. And we want the wall to have something to sit on, so I'm just going to switch this around. I'm going to flip it, and now you can see the pink line goes to the outside edge. And we'll continue that. Hopefully we'll keep putting it on the outside edge. There's all of them, and I should just be able to accept this. And it didn't ask me the question that I was waiting for, which is, do you want this wall to join geometry? Sorry, do you want this floor to join geometry with those walls? The answer to that would have been yes. The problem is my walls don't extend low enough yet. So I'm going to select all of them. And instead of having them at a first floor base constraint, I'm going to change that to say foundation. Okay, they've just moved down now to where they cover up that floor. And unfortunately, I can't see the floor from the inside anymore. That's simply because this has not been joined up with the walls, so there's no line to define it, unless of course I were to hide these walls, then I can see the defining line. But as long as the walls are turned on, it's hiding it. So now I just select the floor, edit the boundary. I don't need to make any changes, but I'll just click on the green check mark. And now it's going to ask me, would you like the geometry and the cut the overlapping volume out of the wall, something. I'm going to say yes. Now I have that line in there, and the floor doesn't poke through the walls. And for everything that I'm going to do in presentation, this is exactly how it ought to be. I can even, if I would like to, go into textures so that I can just see things with their material a little bit more clearly.